You'll notice that I'm playing that in claw hammer style, but it's actually two-finger claw hammer. I don't use a full claw hammer. I only use two fingers, with thumb and my forefinger, to get the claw hammer effect. The claw hammer effect is what you hear Donovan doing, that Donovan taught to John Lennon and to Paul McCartney and to George. Not to Ringo. Ringo didn't learn any guitar work, as far as I know. I don't think he ever played guitar. And when they were in India, I'll tell you what happened. Donovan went with the Beatles to India to meet with the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and they were going to learn Transcendental Meditation. They were very excited, and they're out by the Ganges, and they got their guitars. Of course, they have acoustic guitars, but they're going to have electric. They had acoustic guitars out there. You know, they were talking about the '60s here, and so Donovan was playing this thing. So on, and that's a kind of, I'm doing kind of a claw hammer, but the actual Appalachian claw hammer is with all five little piggies on the right hand. And what you might want to do even is like G tune it, you know, or something like that, so you have a real great Appalachian effect out of it. But anyway, that's where the White Album came from, by and large, is from claw hammer, Appalachian claw hammer technique that was passed on from Donovan to John, primarily to John, and Paul kind of picked it up, listening off in the distance. He didn't sit with them. He was walking. He walked an awful lot, and Paul was a lefty guitar player. He's a strange guitar thing. It took him about a minute and a half to pick up the claw hammer. That was seriously, Paul McCartney is a guitar genius, absolute genius, melodic genius. He is, and it took him about 2 seconds to figure out. Oh, that's what. But he didn't do it the way that Donovan did it, and he didn't do it the way John did. He did it totally his own way, by listening rather than watching, and then finding his own way to make that happen. See. And in a sense, that's what I did back in the 1950s, late 40s, early 49, 1950, 51, when I saw Pete do the claw hammer on the banjo. Well, I didn't play banjo, never have played banjo, so I took the claw hammer technique over to guitar, and Donovan did the same thing, and for the same reason. He knew Pete. He was around Pete as much as I was. No, I was around more, but he was around Pete Seeger for quite a bit, and Pete used the claw hammer a lot, you know, with his banjo. But if you don't play banjo, you might be inclined to take that technique over. Now, I'll tell you something else kind of interesting. We did a whole bunch. Yanesh and I did a whole bunch of really interesting videos. Earlier this morning too, that's not early this morning, we did a couple of videos on split attention, how split attention can be demoed. I can actually demonstrate to you what split attention is, how it works, and so forth, and why it functions, and how you need it, you know, why you need split attention and so forth, dual attention. And I don't want to put Yanesh on the spot, but she actually could demonstrate this for us, so you can see how someone else does this. So maybe on the weekend we'll do that, on Saturday. Capoed up to the 6th fret here. The capo was on the 6th. So she'll be playing from the 7th fret over. Now I want to explain to you, I told about this in some of the videos, but this little range here where my hand is, just above the body of the guitar, about halfway up the neck, that's what I would call the jazz and blues range. That's where those guys like to hang out, up in here. like that. See, so what I want you to do is I want you to stay in that range. Now, just imagine she's playing at Gorby's Cafe, for instance. Okay, Gorby, old Gorby wants to have nice, quiet music. Doesn't want to have a lot of big kerfuffle. Doesn't want to have people showing off about their new album, trying to sell their new songs, trying to get jobs from other proprietors, tavern proprietors, and so forth. Well, Tavern of Wreck, Tavern of Mayhem. Tavern of Ruin, they've got their own band. They got their own band, no problem. Tavern of Wreck and Tavern of Mayhem, they don't have a band, and they're looking. They're always looking, trying to hire people away from me. So that's all a joke. However, Gorby's Cafe, I do view as a tavern, not the same kind of thing like the way that Lee was describing, but I do see it as a kind of a tavern in the old sense of tavern, as in when the Aprila with Rashora Sota have bothered every vein and switch liqueur, and so the drought of April, the drought of April, and then these wonderful showers, so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, April showers.
April showers, yeah. So I want to hear just kind of a little strummy sound, So she's just kind of noodling around. Now listen, you got to remember, she doesn't know anything. She really doesn't know any songs, doesn't know how to play, doesn't play very well with what she does. She just kind of muddles on by. But so far, she has done one thing and one thing only that is absolutely right, and that is she has burned the chords into her hand. Her left hand knows those chords. Her right hand is still kind of iffy, finding its way, looking for some kind of substance, some kind of place to land. I always am indifferent to where my right hand lands. My left hand, however, I'm not indifferent to that, and you shouldn't be. So what she's got here is a trained left hand and a trained right hand. They're slightly roboticized. They're a miniature robot within the big robot. There's some smaller robots. The hands are definitely robots. And she's got her hands and part of her arms trained to pick through round and round and round this particular cycle of chords. Now the figures that she's playing are C, A minor, F, and G. But those are the figures, those are not the actualities, because she's capoed up to the 6th fret. So what you're hearing is really different than what you would hear with an open guitar without the fret, without the capo. Now, what that does is it makes the tones slightly higher than they would be without the capo, actually quite a bit higher. Which means that in a non-electric club like the one I owned, it was perfect to have somebody either capoed up or playing in this range, because that's the range that you could hear without having to do too much in the way of amplification. It also matches female tones quite well to be up there. So, for instance, Cass Elliot used to like to have, she used the capo, I used the capo, and she liked to sing, like, up in A, so fifth fret, she liked that. And of course, all the doo-wop singers love the key of C. You can get a jazzy sound or a bluesy sound by going to a B flat. So let's do that right here. Then we'll make it. So we'll make an E7th figure, and we're on the which one? We're on the 6th fret. Yes, we are. On the 6th fret, she's making an E7th, two finger E7th, like an open style E7th, but it's not open. It's capoed, but it's still open. It's just a shorter guitar now. Now the A, 7th, right? And then back to E. Okay, let me show you how that works. I'm going to swing this over this way here. I think this will be all right. I think this will be okay. I'm just going to swing it over here and see if I can pick up the guitar okay. Is that all right? Like that? Okay. Now I'll do my fake claw hammer. Like that. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to pick out, let's get some help here. Okay. All right. I don't know where. Go ahead and get the guitar up there and we'll see where we need to be. Get your guitar in the right place. I think we're right there. I think we're good. Okay, so now you're just going to go ahead and noodle around as if you're in a cafe, in a nice quiet cafe. And in a nice quiet cafe, all we really want to hear is a little bit of music behind us as we talk. It's a chat room with food. Don't forget, that's what a restaurant really is, a chat room with food. Object matrimony. So you want a kind of a quiet atmosphere. You want an atmosphere that allows lots of... Oh. Well, you can't. That's right. You shouldn't. Just barely hear it. Okay. So she's just kind of noodling around, and she's not bothering anybody. She's not covering anybody's talking. It's just in the space, especially in the cafe space. It's barely discernible, barely audible, which is what I was trying to get there. So let me pull this back a little bit. I did not want it that close. I want it just barely audible. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you talk a little bit. I'm going to bring my microphone over to her. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, tell me what it is you're trying to accomplish here, what you're trying to do here, and how did you learn to do this strumming thing?
Well, I'm not too sure on the strumming. It's just, I don't really know about the strumming. But the chords, I really like this, the doo-wop sound. It's not what I'm doing because I don't quite know how to do it. But the chords, I decided to learn. And so I just kept doing them over and over again. C, A minor, F, and G.
Thanks. So now I'm conducting an interview with her, and she is continuing to play her guitar. Please notice. So she is playing the guitar. She doesn't have to put her attention on which chord she's going to play next or which string she's going to hit with her right hand. She's able to concentrate with me on the conversation, on this course of conversation, on this interview. So she could just as easily be doing what is called a talking blues. Let's do one about UFOs, the one we saw this morning.
Oh, well, okay. EJ was asking me about the UFO that I saw. Some people saw it, but I actually, I didn't really see it, but I heard it. And what happened was I heard the sound, and I got up and I went to the window. And so my roommate says, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm looking for the UFO that I just heard. And I came out of a sleep. I came out of a stone sleep. but I got woken up by the sound.
Okay. Now, she doesn't know it, but she could sing probably in perfect key. Dee-da, dee-da, da-dee-da, da-da, da-da-da. I'm going to go to effect. Da-da, da-da-da-da. She doesn't think she sounds good. I don't know anybody who thinks they sound good. Even people who are very confident, people who are in the show business for the longest time, still, they feel insecure. They feel unable to do the job. They feel that they are inadequate. And therefore we have psychiatrists. I just wanted to prove you can make a wrong note with this stuff. It's not impossible. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do we're going to go to wherever you're capoed or not capoed, it's okay. You're going to go to your second fret, third string, second fret, and you're going to hold it down and pluck.
Now?
Yeah. One, wait. Now lift it up, pluck again, push it down, pluck it. No, I didn't say pluck. All right, go to the top.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Third string, second fret, hold it down, pluck. Pull up, pluck.
Whoops.
Pluck the third string. Do it again. Third string. Okay, down. First down. Go ahead. Pluck. Now up. Pluck. Down. Pluck. Up. Pluck. Now go to the fourth string. Down. Pluck. Up. Pluck. Down. Pluck. Okay. So it comes out like da 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 da. So think of it as kind of like a melody. Da 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 da. Da da So now as you're picking it, sing it as you pick it, exactly, note for note. Sing the same note that you're playing on the guitar at the time you're playing it on the guitar, same time, as close as possible. I mean, it's not going to, you're going to do this. This is the kind of stuff a guitarist will practice, a guitarist vocalist especially, a lead guitarist and lead singer is going to practice 8 hours a day maybe for a couple of months, and then insert that one lick into some piece that he's playing. See, that's really where it's at. He or she is playing. It's because it takes that long. You roboticize it in. You go da 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 da, and you work out the timing, you work out the structure, you work out how it goes, and you smooth it out, until finally you can do it without even half thinking about it. You can throw it in anywhere that you want to put it. Go ahead. Try it.
Okay.
Slow, slow, slow. Ba, 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 ba. Try it. Ba, ba. Thirds. Ba, 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 ba. Now, I didn't intend her voice to be mic'd because it doesn't sound important. It's absolutely unimportant whether we hear her voice or not. That's not the point. As a matter of fact, undertone would be better right now for this particular exercise. So what we're trying to accomplish here is that she learn how to double the guitar tone with her vocal when she wants to. I will invite you to watch Feliciano. He taught me this technique. I learned it from Feliciano. And he does this, I think, on California Dreamin'. And I know that there's a live performance. I hope it's still up on eBay, on YouTube, I mean.
Yeah.
I hope it's still up there. So go see it. It's worth watching what he does. Don't forget, the guy's blind, the kid's blind. And he had to learn this stuff without seeing what to do. And he didn't have teachers. He had to figure it out himself. He made the same sounds on guitar that he heard. The sounds he liked, he learned to make. And he had a lot of time on his hands, and he wanted to do something with his hands. And so he did. He picked up the guitar and started playing it, and then singing. And that gives him a really full life, really full, expanded view. So that's an exercise you might want to use, and you can actually use that, ba 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 ba, and then you hit that E7th figure, not the E7th, but E7th figure, which is right there. So it'll be actually a B flat 7th right there. Okay, and then you'll hit the what was the A7th, and that's only the figure there, A7th. That was an A7th, and now God knows what it is now. Some folks know that. They know music theory. They can tell you what thirds and fifths are. I only know about them. I only know this vague rumor that they exist, and that there's some sort of interval, you know. What does it mean? What does it mean? Who cares what it means? What does it sound like around a campfire is what I care about. I'm a campfire singer. That's what I do. I would love to have on Labor Day weekend, I'd love to have not a campfire because it's, fire season, but I'd love to have a sing out, kind of like, a circle that we sing in the old way. And I'm planning on doing that maybe Saturday afternoon. We'll do a we'll do a hootenanny where we all gather in a circle and everybody takes part in the singing and stuff. Hootenanny.
And we say, hey, lottie, lottie.
Yes, we'll sing Hey Lottie Lottie for sure. And we'll maybe get some shots from overhead. I don't know, see what we can do. I don't know. Now, here's the thing. The people who are listening to this, they go, well, but she's just played the same song twice. No, they won't know that, because watch. Go ahead and capo down to the 2nd fret. Okay? Go ahead and play your other song.
The other one.
I said it very deliberately. She really can play a few things, but I made it a joke. Play your other song, because let's assume that she only knows 2 progressions, and that she cannot sing worth a damn. So She's just going to sit here and noodle around on the guitar. Now we're going to eat and talk, and drink. Yes, don't forget drink. We'll eat, talk, and drink. Because you have to drink it down at least 3 pints of ale, or you won't be able to actually get on board the Vogon ship. You won't be able to take it. Don't forget, when you go to Lightspeed, you leave the Higgs field. All you need to do is sideswipe the Higgs field, go out of phase with it slightly. That's easy to do by just changing the electron weights. I'm not allowed to give hints. I'm not. I can't give actual hints. But I can, I'm not going to name any names, but I will point. Yeah. Good. See, that's... Now, while she's doing this, I'm going to talk a little bit. No, I'm not. I'm going to pass it over. Ozzy, can you actually mic her, please? Yes, I'm serious. Can you mic her vocally? Yeah. To the audience, this is totally different. They would not get it's the same piece. Now play your other song. See what I mean? Up here on the 5th fret, it sounds totally different, so you can play all night long and only know two progressions, 6 chords in all, and get paid for an entire night's performance. And if you need to sing, if you have to sing, you say, well, I don't do sing, but I do talking blues. So I'm going to ask her to please demonstrate split attention by doing a talking blues, and she's going to make up the blues as she does this. So she has no idea what she's going to say. And this is a talking blues about subject matter, starfish. Yes. And this is actually an exercise that we give. You can give this to a student. It's also fun if you have a circle for people to come up with things like this for talking blues. Go ahead.
Starfish in the blues.
A starfish, it's, well, no, you're going to tell a story about a starfish. And it doesn't matter where the story goes. What I'm going to ask her to do is also take her time telling the story. Don't just rush through and try to tumble the words out. Take your time through it and tell the story in your own way, in your own pace, at your own time. No pressure. Seriously, none.
Well, on Sundays, my family, we go fishing. Winter or summer, spring or fall, we fish on Sundays. Last Sunday, my brother, who is the best fisher, I don't know why the fish go always to his pole, but they do. He caught a starfish. He cut it up immediately, threw it back in the water. In no time, he had a whole little family of starfish come up to the boat. He brought them in and cut them all up again. By the end of the day, we had to get out of the boat because there wasn't enough room for us and the starfish.
Good, thank you. Okay, that's good. Hold everything. Thank you. Okay, now, So we've been doing that kind of thing on video for the past few days, trying to use up every good day we have. We're very thankful for every good day of work that we get. Trying to get as much material to you as possible. Kind of thing on video for the past few days, trying to use up every good day we have. We're very thankful for every good day of work that we get. Trying to get as much material to you as possible, and so you can work with it for your work and also pass it on. One of the things that that Donovan noted about the White Album was, he had a very minor influence in the sense that he taught the claw hammer technique, and it resulted in lots and lots of Beatle tunes sounding the way they do. Giving a claw hammer technique, all it is you're taking a banjo strum onto a guitar. Claw hammer belongs on a banjo. I saw it on Pete Seeger for 9 years solid, and so every time I saw him play, and I was like 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet away typically, because we were in school with him, and he was teaching classes on folk singing and on music in general, world music, at Downtown Community School. So Pete used the claw hammer a lot, not always, but he used it a lot. It's an Appalachian strum. And so the Appalachian strum, the claw hammer, got onto the White Album. But Donovan used to make the point, I think he's right about this, that it didn't stop there. Millions of kids heard the White Album and copied what they heard and started incorporating those sounds into their music. And then some of them produced records or did shows, performances, and millions of kids heard them. And it has propagated, this claw hammer technique has propagated through all of these different transpositions and modalities, all these different ways of expressing the same thing. It's kind of like the teaching. Somebody said, which asked me years ago, I haven't, mercifully, people haven't asked me this in years, which teaching is the true teaching? Which is the real teaching? I have a Mark Twain reaction to that. I have to suppress the urge to swat the guy down. But it's you idiot, But I do manage to conquer that urge. But at the same time, it is really a stupid question, because there is only one teaching. And that's it. There's only one teaching. I'm sorry to tell you that. I don't want to bore you or disappoint you, but there's only one teaching. There's only one point to the teaching. And there's only one purpose to the teaching. And everybody who performs the teaching has the same boss, has the same itinerary, has the same agenda. It's always the same. It's the same thing over and over and over again. A lot of redundancy. Lots and lots of redundancy. And it's just your flavor. What flavor do you like? Or what brand do you prefer? And it's a brand. You think of it as a brand issue. What brand do you like best? And that's the brand you like. That's the brand you use. It's like toothpaste. It's like a hand cleanser, like a favorite baking powder or baking soda. It's just what you like. It's what you use. What you work with. So that's all there is to it. It's so simple. There is only one teaching, and there are millions of expressions of that one teaching. Many millions, many, actually billions of expressions of that one teaching. We're a little unusual in the way we go about it, I would say. We're kind of off the map, and my friends tend to be off the map in their teaching as well, as you notice. It's we're definitely not anywhere near the mainstream in any way. Nor do we need to be. It's our jobs are the job that we do is very specialized and long-reaching. It doesn't. We don't care what happens today. It's what happens in another couple hundred years that makes the difference. And even in 1,000 years, can make a big difference. Big difference. Got a lot of reach with this academy. And we did quite a bit. We did a lot of work in ancient Greece. We are actually doing that same work. Did you know that ancient Greece is here? Ancient Greece is actually available to you. You can just walk into it from here if you knew how. That's what I want to talk about, invisible worlds, because once Yanesh got these ideas about doubling the voice with the guitar and about choking up to that fifth, sixth, seventh fret, up there, and about things like the leading into a piece. Let's do that a little bit. Just use that 2-1. That 3-2-3-2 thing, and just kind of go up there a little bit, and then hit an E7 just on top of that. Yeah. Yeah. Ba ba da 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 da. Go ahead. Da 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 da. Yeah. See? So that idea of leading into a song, so that is a real fun thing to work with. You can intersperse and interpose and all kinds of things, little one-liner things like that, little beep, 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 beep. And there isn't that much to learn about how to do that if you do it the way that I recommend. If you do it the way that is normally taught, you will spend many, 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 many months mastering something that you can probably make just as good a sound for your ear, just as good a sound in about 2 minutes. Of just figuring out, do this, don't do that, do this, so on. So we have lots and lots of videos on that. We'll also have lots of videos coming up to you on the subject of metal embossing, many, many, many of them. I'm in the middle of making I was granted a beautiful work night, a wonderful work night. I felt strong and clear and able to work. My hands are nice and thin and working well. So I attacked the brass at 19 millimeters. Woo! And I'll tell you what, when you do that, you're going to make a big stink about it. You're going to go, wow, 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 you banners up and everything. Because if you can handle 19 millimeter in brass, you are doing something. You really are. It's really, really, oh boy, pain-provoking too to get in there and do that with that tool. But if you can do it, you'll have a great time with it, and you can put that into a black foam ring, and it looks absolutely incredible. It's totally stunning. Then you put the copper in the white foam ring, and it looks stunning. So you got two stunning looks to that thing. And I've made a sample checker set that I'm going to offer for sale, and I don't know whether to offer it on eBay and let you bid, or whether to let you just buy them and I'll make them as I'm able. I think I'll do that. I don't want people bidding against each other for this thing. I don't know how much to charge for it. It's 24 pieces, 24 embossed pieces. But you can do it yourself for $48.
That's the kit.
I'll give you a kit. I'll send you a kit, complete with instructions. I'll send you to the instructions for it. I'll post the instructions for it. There'll also be a video on it, and you can make your very own for $48. How does that sound?
And if you would rather buy one?
If you'd rather buy one, I think I would be insulted with less than $450.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's $10 a unit. That's,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
that's pretty damn cheap.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's where I would go.
So earlier you were saying all these elements come in, you know, these new elements that you can look at in playing the guitar. And, and-
Talking to the mic, because they can.
Oh, and so
What's
it's
that now,
like
these elements
another
that you can-
world. Well, you said like Greece is like right here if you knew.
Yeah,
how-
right.
So then
So
guitar,
you were watching some people play guitar early this morning. We were on YouTube looking at some people playing guitar. Now that you are doing it yourself, you're seeing what they do. You'll notice things like, well, that guy's got a capo. You wouldn't have known that a little while ago, but now you see the capo. That guy's doing C, A minor, F, G, but he's doing it in such a way that it looks really wild and strange and everything, and he's got this weird sound out of it. How is he doing that? It's just C, A minor, F, G. How come it sounds like that? So now you're starting to see those things and ask those questions and so forth. It's like if you buy a pink Volkswagen, you'll see suddenly the whole street full of pink Volkswagens. They weren't there yesterday, but they are there today. That's just a function of your attention. This is how it works. So when you set your attention on something higher, other higher things start to crawl in, start to creep into your vision, into your view. So you cannot see the kingdom yet. You can't see you can't see past one dimension, past, well, 4 dimensions in a way, but you can't see past this dimension that you call home, reality. And eventually you will, but you need to open up your vision a little bit with something. So one way to do that is to start splitting your attention like we did here and going over your guitar playing. So you're transcending your guitar playing. So it'll teach you how to transcend. It's a nice way of teaching how to transcend. Transcending is the first step to astral projection. Transcending is the first step toward telepathic communication. So, for instance, let's say you're making a medallion that has the phone number of Archangel, let's say of Cassiel. Let's put Cassiel there. So you're going to make a phone number for Cassiel. So when you hold that medallion and you enrich that medallion and charge up that medallion, you will open up telepathic communication with whomever you have designated on that particular sigil. When you put that into your jar, into your chamber, into your smoke chamber, activate that. Now get on the beacon, the super beacon. On the other end will be Cassiel. That's who you're hearing, or that's who you're detecting, and that's the thoughts that you're receiving, or the help you're getting. You may not even get thoughts. You might want just help, just general help. So